Hi there, my name's Ellie. I'm a beginner painter from Latvia, also a mom. In my free time, I like to paint in sketchbooks, and this time I finished several sketchbooks, so I would like to show you a little sketchbook tour with my abstract artworks. I hope you enjoy watching. So I'm going to start by showing you this older sketchbook that I've got. It actually consists of many not abstract works, so I'm going to skip that and show you what is more abstract, because this is what I'm into right now. I have a whole lot of different stuff in here, but my main focus is abstract this time. So let's start with this piece. I'm really loving the color palette in here. I think the colors look really harmonious and yet very bright, and there's a lot of contrast and detail, and I've used some soft pastels in here and also some shiny kind of glittery paint in here, and I'm really loving this spread. And there have been many experiments in here which I don't like as much. I like this one quite a lot. It's very textured. I have glued some tissue in here and it created this beautiful texture. I'm not really happy about it actually. I think now with my more experienced eye, I'm not really loving this one. Let's skip that. Next we have this. I've been playing around with different materials and sticking in some collage papers and also drawing on top with markers and pencils. I like overall how it looks, but also not my vibe anymore, but it was worth trying. Now we have this very bright green one. I'm liking the feel of it. It feels really summery and springy, and I like that I stick to this branch print in here. I'm loving these contrasty details and the scribbles. They are really textured. Yeah, I hope you can see that all. Now we have this. I don't know, maybe this is some kind of Valentine's Day vibe. I'm loving the bright neon orange that has peeked through here, and I like this piece of my own made collage that is sticking in here. I like using dots still. Kind of happy about this one. Still it looks very busy. For now, I feel like I would make it very different. Love playing with these bubbly shapes. Always. This is very, very dark. I feel like something is wrong with value here, but I do like this contrast, and the mix of colors is very brave, I think, to my liking. I think this is cool. Not bad. Some more pink stuff. I guess this is too pink, but I like the different marks here too. I remember doing this one. I was very inspired back home from my walk, and I think I wanted to feel something like calm. I have some quote in here. It says, "Life is the meaning of life." Like, you have to live just to live, to enjoy your life. And I'm really loving this. It looks very calm. I like this color palette, and I like the whiteness of the page that is still seen. Not everything is covered with paint. This is my one of most favorite collage artworks that I did. This is made almost fully from different torn out pieces of my own collages. I've used this beautiful pattern made by my friend Oshu Patterns on Instagram, and I added something on top. I like how I added these marks on top. I'm really liking this one. This is my most favorite one, I think. I like this place in here. If we would use a viewfinder, I would select this little bit. I think this is very beautiful. Next, Next, I'm going to skip to let me see, this one. I was playing with mixing different colors. I even wrote what I used here: magenta, primary yellow, black and white. And all these colors were made from that mix of colors, and I'm really enjoying this color in here and overall look of it. Again, playing with different colors, this time very colorful: vermilion hue, emerald, black and white. So just two colors and black and white made all this beautiful color palette, which is awesome, I think. Some florals, some cats as usual, and now we're getting closer to my more recent works. This was just me playing around with different materials while my son was drawing next to me, and then I tried to make an abstract artwork. Hello, my Lolik, my cat is here. To make an abstract artwork using just pencils and markers, and I'm really loving how this worked out. I think it's pretty amazing. I was really impressed how I liked this page at the end, and I added this line crossing it all, and I like that you can see something underneath this white. I think I smudged it with my finger. And next was this random flower, and then this, I showed it in one of my vlogs. I really like how this lady turned out. And then this happened. I'm loving the orange in here. I think it was made with just orange Posca pen. I'm loving these tiny dots on this bright blue color. I'm loving this transparency here. I think it was just me smudging paint with a palette knife. Overall, really happy with this one. Then we have this. Again, experimenting with different color mixes, using blue with orange, which is very contrasty, and I'm loving this green in here and tiny splatters. And I always love to do these dots. They look very special because I'm using the other end of the brush to make them, so they are not the same and they create this cool effect, I think. Then I was inspired by Louis Fletcher when I created these. I really loved letting go of the idea that I have to color all the page, and I started to leave empty space, which is really cool. I tried to make different marks in here and play with just several colors, and I did them both simultaneously using same color palette, and I really love this mark in here. It was done just by moving the brush in a round kind of way and stamping it against the paper. I really love this effect, and I'm planning to use it often from now on. It was so simple, I was surprised that I just discovered it. This one was an experiment. I think I wasn't feeling in the zone as much, but I'm really loving some parts of this. I'm loving the shape of heels in here. I'm loving this bright yellow color. Overall happy with it, and also that it looks sort of like foggy and mystical. This is very, very light, but I'm loving this texture in here that I came up with. I think I was just smudging the paint while it was still wet. And yeah, I love to create different textures, but I love how very light and calm this one looks. And this was also very experimental. I think I used a lot of crayons and pencils in here, and I love the colorfulness of it. This was done on May 16. I also started to add dates to my works so I can then remember. I really love this check marks. I'm loving this one. And I even decided to paint the very last page. There's a pocket in this sketchbook and I even painted on top of it. I like how playful this color palette looks and how many marks I used in here. I even used these textural dots. They feel very nice to touch. And I also played with both pages simultaneously to use the same marks but in a different way, to use the same color palette. I'm really liking this spread. And that's it with this sketchbook. Let's now go to sketchbook number 2. Okay guys, excuse me if I'm not very good at filming, I'm just learning. So this is the awesome abstract art sketchbook, the sketchbook that I bought to devote it solely to abstract art, and so I did. Here you see some color swatches, testing some materials. This one actually is empty, I could have also painted it. I just realized some pages are sticking to one another and I don't really care. I'm not precious about it. Let's just tear it all up. Oops, shit happens. I love the colorfulness and playfulness of this, but I think I was just trying to understand what I like here, and in the end I added everything and too much, so it looks just like some cacophony. There's this funny word. It's just very busy and chaotic. Not sure if I like anything about it actually. Now this time I tried to stick to a more muted color palette. I think I tried to use these beautiful bits of paper in here, and I do like this very bright orange Posca pen against everything, and especially against these bits of papers. And I wrote, "It's okay." I think I wasn't feeling it and I just allowed myself not to worry. Then was this one. I really like it. It feels very harmonious. I think it turned out pretty well. I like all the lines in here. At first it felt like nothing would work, but then this color mix happened and these tiny dots in here. And I also really like this white against the very calm blue color. And then, oops, we have this very pink one. I think I was feeling some lovely vibes. I don't know, missing my husband probably, because this feels like Valentine's Day to me. It has flowers, it has some secret notes like "this is love," "kiss me," some hearts. It does look very busy, but because of the limited color palette, it looks quite harmonious, I think. Here I was just testing different marks with brush and with different sticks, and here I was just pressing my palette knife against the surface. I was just playing around. And then we have this one. Again, it looks pretty busy to me right now, I think, but I do like the overall color palette. I think it would look nice as a painting, maybe in some hotel room. I think it would match almost every interior. I do like these color choices that I made, but pretty busy. This I don't like. I remember that I was pushing it and pushing it to maybe like it, and even added some gold in here, and I used these collage papers that I like, and it just didn't seem to work, and I still don't really like it. But some people, like my relatives, said that they do like it, and I just don't know. I feel kind of nah. Now this happened, and this is something that I really enjoyed doing, and I liked using all the vibrant colors, and even though it's super vibrant and has all kind of things going on, I really enjoy it. It feels like some safari weekend for me. I really like everything about it, especially this mix of colors, yes, and these marks. Oops. And as you can see, I'm going into very different directions. First I'm using very vibrant colors, and now I'm using this very calm color palette. I do like these very bright dots in here, and I do like this texture that I've been building up, so it's really nice to the touch. As you know me, I love playing with texture always. And now we have this. This was just an experiment. I tried to make some separate thingies on each page, and this was supposed to be very busy, and this instead was supposed to be very minimal. I even asked my online community on Instagram to say what they like better, busy or minimal, and the opinions were very different. I realized that I do like the minimal more. I think it looks much more interesting than this. Like, you don't know where to get your eye, what to catch in this one. I don't know if I'm making sense. Anyway, it was fun. Then I did this, also an experiment. I was trying to make some landscapes, just not looking at any reference, trying to come up with my own. I used different textures in here. As you can see, this has some texture paste in here. Oops, my phone is dying. Wait a second. Oops, let's continue. So yeah, I'm using a lot of texture and same color palette in them all, so they look cohesive together, and I think it was a cool thing to do. And then randomly I started to paint with gouache. Probably I went back home from my forest walk. I usually go for long walks in the morning, and maybe I got inspired by the nature, so I decided to play around with that. And I really enjoy it. I don't know, it doesn't seem cohesive with all the abstract stuff, but I think it has the right to live in this sketchbook. And then again, playing with gouache. I think I just wanted to switch up my mediums that I'm using, because there I was mostly using acrylic paint, and here I'm mostly using gouache. And I like the watery feel of gouache, that it can be sometimes unpredictable, like watercolors. Really liking this piece. I like this bird that I decided to add. And then this happened. I think I was trying to make some night sky and some lavender fields, and everything I like about this is just this bit of texture that I scraped with a comb, I think with a hair comb, while the paint was wet. Then this craziness happened. I think I have another vlog about it. I was just sticking a lot of stuff as I would do on a canvas. I just stuck a lot of stuff on here and then painted over, and I really do like all the amazing things that happened in here. Pretty satisfied with this one. And then the color palette changed dramatically, and I'm loving it. I just realized that I wasn't using some of the older acrylic paints that I had, and then I decided to try to use them again. And I'm really loving this color mix and this very bright, deep, I think it's magenta. Yeah, I like everything about it. Not too sophisticated, not too busy, pretty cool. Here I was exploring the movement with this very special fan brush, I think it is called. I also have something about this in my vlogs. I really loved this experiment, loving the end result. Just playing around with smearing the paint. I love the movement in here. Looks like some crazy fantasy sea, maybe. Not so much loving this one, but I do like this texture here. Again, playing with movement with my fan brush. Love this orange color. and overall loving this. I even added some places with a crayon, not limiting myself at all. Loving these dots and round shapes, something new to me. It was pretty simple but very satisfying and meditative. Another craziness, love the dots, how they contrast with everything else. It does look very busy, but I kind of love it. Oops, something is sticking. Oh, okay. This was a failure. Okay. I just forgot to wait till it dries, so it's completely torn. Then this happened. I'm really loving it. Love the color palette. I wanted to make some bird feet marks in here. This again inspired by nature. Not much to say about it. Loved this. This is like the deep ocean. Love how the colors got mixed in here. Also loving this. This mark, juicy orange mark, was made with a fork. I think I showed it a lot already. Loved this, also experimenting with textures and colors. And here you can see a whole lot of new things. I started making different things with brushes to create the movement in here, and it doesn't look busy at all, very harmonious. I didn't used to like this kind of style of painting, but now I think I do. Again, some experiments. I created something very busy and then decided to layer this more muted light blue color on top. This is very, very light and kind of playful. Reminds me of some, I don't know, girl's birthday party with unicorns for some reason, or maybe cotton candy. This again very different, much darker. Loving this movement and the color palette. Very vibrant. You can see that I'm just playing around and trying all kind of things. Love the neon colors peeking through in here. Really expressive, really vibrant. Loving it. And this is very different kind of earth or rust. Maybe I was inspired by the rust that I've seen outside on my walks. Some rusty metal thingies. Really liking this. This again inspired by trees. I really love this one. I love how I build up the layers in here and used both paint and crayons. Not really liking this one. I think it was an experiment, maybe not a successful one. Also not a big fan of this one, but I like this light green color against this very deep blue color. I'll try to show you closer. And also played with bubble wrap. I'm a big fan of using bubble wrap. Not loving this one, but experiments are worth trying. Again, I got back to collage. This one is pretty crazy, but I'm kind of loving it as well. Love the circles and the stripes and these marks made by some sponge that I've had. Next we have this. I don't know what I think about it. I'm loving these branches that I have drawn in here. Yeah, I hope you can see that all and I'm in focus. This is very dark, like a night scene. I'm liking it. This is very different. I love the smudgy effect in here and the color palette. Just experimenting with different stripes. It was a fun exercise to just try to combine different colors and lines. A very red one. I wanted to do something solely like in monochrome, just in red, but I ended up using all kinds of magentas and pinks, like basically everything I had, and I'm kind of liking it. This is one of my most favorite ones. I don't know, just this color palette and the use of materials in here feels very much like what I want to do with my art. I would just hang it on my wall if I could. Not really liking this one except for this. Let me show you this texture here. You see? And I do like this very light, bright green color. Oops. I really like this one. I was playing with crayons in here and then just covered them with a transparent layer of acrylic paint. Liking it. Feels like some, I don't know, interesting bedtime story. I don't know. Feels very interesting to me. This somehow turned out to be, I don't know, a fantasy fish. That's why I wrote something fishy in here. I don't know, I wasn't feeling it maybe, but I do like the color combinations in here. Again, experimenting, not loving it. I think I wasn't in the zone. Then this happened. I wanted to make an abstract portrait, so I just smeared some paint with my palette knife and then created these crazy hairs. I think she looks like some dark underwater creature, mermaid maybe. I do like this part where I played with crayons and then covered them with a dark indigo blue, and like you can still see the crayons coming here. I have deep sea winds, like winds because her hair is like blown by a wind. Again, some experiments with a limited color palette. Loving this color combination. Really loving it. Not so much a fan of this. I don't know, I enjoyed connecting these round shapes together and that's it. Again, inspired by Louis Fletcher. Love all the white space. It looks like a magical island to me. Maybe I can take you closer. Let's bring it to focus. My mic is hanging in here. I'm not a professional and you know it. I'm just learning to film my sketchbooks. I really like this. I played with them simultaneously with both pages. I just tried to push it until it feels nice. I did enjoy adding the splatters in here. I think they are really looking nice. I hope you can see that clearly. I also added some gold wax in here so you can see it shimmering. Some bits of it I do like a lot. I'm liking this one or not. I'm thinking out loud. I think I was a little bit rushing to finish the sketchbook already. But I do like this color palette. It looks interesting. Oops. Did I skip this? Yes, I skipped this. This looks really nice because it's very minimal in comparison with other stuff that I'm doing. And I sort of felt like I would maybe finish this up, but then I thought, hey, minimal has the right to live. And I love how I added these bits of collage in here and how I painted over the collage in here. Yeah, love this color palette. And the last page is pretty crazy, but I'm kind of liking it. Also tried to add some texture and different marks and even used markers in here. which is really cool, I think, to just use whatever materials you have and just allow yourself to play. Anyways, that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. There will be a short video of my favorite close-ups, I think, at the end. So keep watching.